The manhunt continues after 10 inmates escaped from a New Orleans jail. Deputies say that the inmates escaped around 1 a.m. on Friday through a hole cut behind a toilet.
Police have been responding to tips all week long while searching for the 5 remaining escapees. Now, those tips did help them find the first 5 inmates, but they're also right now searching for people they believe assisted those escaped inmates. 1 week after 10 inmates ran out of the Orleans Justice Center, 5 have been captured and 5 others remain on the run. These 7 people have been arrested in connection to the escaped inmates.
WWL Louisiana just obtained this new surveillance video from the Orleans Parish DA's office showing some of the escaped inmates from the Orleans Justice Center walking in the CBD. Take a look at your screen there. It shows the inmates walking in an alley near Barone Street just after 2 a.m. This is on Friday. That's about an hour after the jailbreak happened.
Hello. I'm True Crime Queen. I make videos about pop culture, viral news stories, and whatever I want. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right, now that that's out the way, today we're going to be talking about 10 inmates who escaped from a jail in New Orleans. Y'all, this is crazy. The search continues for 5 escaped inmates in New Orleans, Louisiana, after a total of 10 inmates escaped from the Orleans Parish Jail early Friday, May 16th, 2025. Louisiana State Police said on Wednesday, May 21st, they have arrested 2 women, 32-year-old Courtney Harris and 38-year-old Corvante Baptiste, for their roles in helping the inmates escape. Police said in a statement that Harris was in phone contact with one of the inmates for the escape and provided transportation to New Orleans locations to 2 of the fugitives afterwards. Troopers didn't say which inmate is primarily associated with Harris, but a law enforcement source told Fox 8 that she was assisting escapee Leo Tate. The agency said Baptiste was in contact by phone and social media assisting Corey Boyd, who was captured on Tuesday, May 20th. Troopers say Baptiste also brought food to Boyd while he was hiding in a home. Harris and Baptiste have each been charged with 1 felony count of accessories after the fact, according to Louisiana State Police. According to Louisiana law, those convicted of accessory after the fact face fines of up to $500 or up to 5 years in prison, or both. Louisiana State Police announced on Thursday, May 22nd, that 59-year-old Connie Whedon from Slidell, Louisiana, has been taken into custody on 1 felony count of being an accessory after the fact. According to the state police, Whedon was in contact with escapee Jermaine Donald by phone both before and after his jailbreak. She also provided him with cash via a cell phone app after his escape, according to investigators. Donald is one of 5 escaped inmates who remains on the run as of the making of this video. 19-year-old Corey Boyd was recaptured and taken into custody on Tuesday, May 20th in the historic Trim neighborhood of New Orleans. Authorities say Boyd will be transferred to a secure state facility outside of the New Orleans area. Louisiana State Police said in a statement, quote, Boyd was originally incarcerated at the Orleans Justice Center for second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, aggravated battery, and threatening a public official. Gary Price, Kendall Miles, Robert Moody, and DeKeenan Dennis are the other 4 escapees who have also been captured. A staff member at the jail is also facing charges after being accused of helping the inmates make the escape. According to Fox 8 Live, jail maintenance worker, this man, 33-year-old Sterling Williams, was arrested Monday, May 19th, booked on 10 counts of principal to simple escape and 1 count of malfeasance in office. According to court records, Williams told investigators with the Louisiana Bureau of Investigation that he was threatened by Antoine Massey, one of the inmates who later escaped, claiming that Massey threatened to stab him if he didn't turn off water to a toilet that the inmates tore from a cell as part of their escape plan.
I don't think that he had to do any of the things that he did. If he was under threat, then he certainly should have brought that to someone else's attention.
If the water wasn't turned off, investigators said in the court records, the cell would have flooded, potentially drawing attention to the escape. The sheriff's office said 4 employees have been suspended without pay as part of its criminal investigation. Louisiana State Police on Monday recaptured Gary C. Price in an abandoned house on Good Drive. Price was wanted in connection with an attempted first-degree murder case. 3 of the 10 inmates who pulled off the daring escape were already recaptured within 24 hours. Kendall Myers was the first to be recaptured after being found hiding underneath a car in the parking lot in the French Quarters Hotel Monteleone. Robert Moody was caught Friday evening on 2nd Street in the Hoffman Triangle neighborhood. Later, Dakeenan Dennis was recaptured after police found him on Dale Street. Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson, who on Tuesday, May 20th, took public responsibility for the first time and later said she was temporarily suspending her campaign for re-election, said there is evidence that the escape was assisted from within the jail.
We know that they had help. We're showing you they had help. This was coordinated.
We have reason to believe that there was some assistance with this.
Hudson explained that the only officer assigned to the escapees' housing unit had stepped away for food. During that time, the inmates opened a cell door, removed a toilet from the wall, and accessed a loading dock, climbed a fence, and then crossed the interstate. Federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies have been conducting searches throughout the city for the remaining escapees. Let's take a closer look at the crimes they are accused of, according to Fox 8 Live. Derek Groves is convicted of taking the lives of 2 people and opening fire on 2 others on Mardi Gras Day in 2018. Antoine Massey, who I spoke on earlier, is being held on domestic battery and vehicle theft charges with prior escapes dating back to 2007. He's also wanted in St. Tammany Parish for kidnapping and rape charges. Linton Van Buren is accused of a 2021 homicide in New Orleans East. Jermaine Donald is charged with attempted second-degree murder, aggravated battery, weapons violations, and obstruction of justice. Leo Tate is awaiting trial on burglary, drug, and weapons charges. Of course, the story has gone viral nationwide, and many people, including me, are wondering how the hell this even happened in the first place. An update on the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Facebook page reads in part, quote, "Video footage shows that at 12:22 a.m. on Friday, May 16th, several inmates were observed jarring open the sliding door to cell D1006. By 12:43 a.m., multiple inmates entered that cell. At 1 a.m., they exited the loading dock door adjacent to the pod and moved down a secure perimeter road towards the under construction phase 3 facility, which is going to be a new addition to the jail. At 1:19 a.m., they were seen scaling a fence between the Orleans Justice Center and phase 3 using blankets to avoid injury from the barbed wire. From there, they ran across both directions of I-10 and into a nearby neighborhood where investigators later recovered discarded clothing believed to belong to the escapees. At the time of the escape, no deputy was assigned to Pod 1D, and the civilian corrections technician monitor stationed at the pod had stepped away briefly for food. Prior to the escape, steel bars protecting plumbing fixtures were intact. After the escape, at least one steel bar appeared to have been intentionally cut using a tool," end quote. According to CBS, the escaped inmates also wrote obscene messages for the guards, one which was misspelled to read "too easy, LOL," and another message that read "catch me if you can." At a news conference, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry said the escape was the worst in the recent state history and said he is ordering an audit of the sheriff's office as well as the Orleans Parish prison. Authorities said that a total reward of $20,000 was being offered for information leading to the arrest of each inmate. Y'all, this case is absolutely insane. When I was working in news, we covered a bunch of inmate escapes. Unfortunately, it does happen quite often, but there's never been this many, and I totally agree with the thought that they had to have had help from the inside somehow. I mean, obviously the investigation is still ongoing, so we're gonna see what else happens. And as I said earlier in the video, one of the maintenance workers has been arrested, so we're just gonna have to see what happens after this. But like 3 of the inmates that escaped have been either convicted or charged with murder, so yeah, hopefully they end up catching everyone. So yeah, but that does it for this video. I love you for watching. Bye.